Advanced Innovation Group LA 9001. Through this video, we shall attempt to explain the auditable component of the ISO 9001. Clause 4.4. Clause 4. Context of the organization. 4.4 Quality Management System and its processes. The organization shall determine the boundaries and applicability of the quality management system to establish its scope. The organization shall determine the processes needed for the quality management system and their application throughout the organization, and shall A. Determine the inputs required and the outputs expected from these processes. B. Determine the sequence and interaction of these processes. C. Determine and apply the criteria and methods, including monitoring, measurements, and related performance indicators, needed to ensure the effective operation and control of these processes. D. Determine the resources needed for these processes and ensure their availability. E. Assign the responsibilities and authorities for these processes. F. Address the risks and opportunities as determined in accordance with the requirements of 6.1. G. Evaluate these processes and implement any changes needed to ensure that these processes achieve their intended results. To audit, ISO 9001, 2015, Clause 4.4, Objective, to verify that the organization has identified its QMS processes, controls and monitors them, assigns responsibilities, uses resources efficiently, evaluates and improves the processes continually. Audit questions, aligned with 4.4.1 subclauses. General, has the organization established, implemented, and maintained a QMS? Can you show how your QMS supports continual improvement? Audit questions, aligned with 4.4.1 subclauses. A. Inputs and outputs. What are the key inputs and outputs of this process? How do you ensure inputs are adequate and outputs meet requirements? Audit questions, aligned with 4.4.1 subclauses. B. Sequence and interaction. Can you show me a process map or flowchart of how your processes interact? How do you manage interfaces between departments or processes? Audit questions, aligned with 4.4.1 subclauses. C. Criteria, methods, and monitoring. What performance indicators or measurements do you use to monitor this process? How do you ensure the process is working effectively? Audit questions, aligned with 4.4.1 subclauses. D. Resources. What resources, people, tools, equipment, software, infrastructure, are needed for this process? How do you ensure those resources are available? Audit questions, aligned with 4.4.1 subclauses. E. Responsibilities and authorities. Who is responsible for managing this process? Is this responsibility formally assigned and communicated? Audit questions, aligned with 4.4.1 subclauses. F. Risks and opportunities. What risks and opportunities have been identified for this process? What actions are taken to address them? Audit questions, aligned with 4.4.1 subclauses. G. Evaluation and improvement. How is this process evaluated? How are changes or improvements to the process identified and implemented? Objective evidence to look for, process maps or interaction diagrams, process descriptions, SOPs or work instructions, KPI dashboards or process monitoring reports, risk registers linked to processes, resource allocation records, manpower, machines, software, etc. Internal audit and process review reports, corrective action reports and continual improvement logs. Common non-conformities, number non-conformity. Example. 1. Processes not clearly identified or documented. No clear process map or process list. 2. No evidence of process monitoring or measurement. KPIs not tracked or no review mechanism. 3. Process interactions not managed. Departments working in silos with no interface controls. 4. Responsibilities and authorities not assigned or unclear. Staff unsure who owns the process. Common nonconformities. 5. Risks and opportunities not considered in process planning. No link between Clause 6.1 and actual process design or review. 6. No action taken to improve processes even after poor performance. KPIs consistently missed, but no corrective action taken. Pro tip, use a process sheet or turtle diagram for each major QMS process to document input-output, resources, equipment, methods/criteria, measurement/indicators, responsibilities, risks and opportunities. 1. Process sheet template. This is a structured way to capture everything required by Clause 4.4. Section details. Process name.eg, customer order management. Process owner.eg, sales manager. Objective of the process.eg, to ensure customer orders are received, reviewed, and processed efficiently. Inputs, e.g., customer order forms, emails, product catalog. Outputs, e.g., sales orders, delivery schedules, invoices. Key activities. Example, order review, stock check, customer confirmation, order entry. Sequence and interaction. E-jury, links to inventory, production, and dispatch processes. Resources required. E.g., sales staff, ERP system, internet, office space. Responsibility and authority. E.g., sales executive inputs, orders, manager approves. Performance indicators, KPIs. E.g., order processing time, order accuracy %, customer complaints. Monitoring methods. E.g., weekly dashboard, internal audits, monthly performance reviews. Applicable risks and opportunities. E.g., risk, stockouts, opportunity, online order tracking system. Improvement actions. E.g., training and CRM, faster order review tools. 2. Turtle diagram template. The turtle diagram is a visual method of mapping a process and its related elements. Here's a textual version you can use or draw. Process. What is done? Key steps, activity. Inputs. What comes into the process? Who? Responsibility. How? Methods. SOPs. Outputs. What comes out of the process? With what? Resources, people, tools, etc. How measured? KPIs, controls. Example, turtle diagram for customer complaint handling. Input, customer complaints, email, phone, feedback forms. Output, resolved complaints, preventive actions logged. Who? Customer service representative, quality manager. How? Complaint handling procedure, escalation matrix. With what? Complaint log software, customer database. How measured? Complaint resolution time, recurrence rate. 1. Scope of the quality management system. The quality management system, QMS of organization name, covers the following. Products and services. Clearly state the types of products and services the organization provides. For example, the manufacturing and supply of plastic packaging products for the food and beverage industry. 2. Context consideration. In determining the scope, the organization has taken into account internal issues. Briefly mention key internal factors relevant to the QMS, such as organizational structure, competencies, and process capabilities. External issues. Mention key external factors like customer expectations, legal regulatory environment, market trends, etc. Interested parties and their requirements. Identify major interested parties such as customers, regulators, employees, and suppliers, and highlight how their relevant requirements were considered. 3. Applicability and exclusions. The organization applies all requirements of ISO 9001-2015 that are applicable to its QMS. However, the following requirements are deemed not applicable. Clause, e.g. 8.3, design and development. Justification, e.g., the organization does not perform design and development activities. It manufactures products based on customer-provided specifications. Note, exclusions are only permitted if they do not affect the organization's ability or responsibility to ensure conformity of products and services and customer satisfaction.